Warning, this video contains impossible amounts of blood, some sexual references, and strong language on the part of the games displayed here and on my part. Turn away if you are offended by such material. The No More Heroes series kicks ass. This series is famous for having some of the craziest boss battles ever, many of them incredibly memorable with a few exceptions here and there. So now, because there are so many notable bosses in this series, I've made a countdown based off all of them. Here I count down to my favorite No More Heroes boss ever, from my least favorite of all of them on. I've got a lot to say about every boss in this series, so hopefully you'll find something new.
It's game time!
That's it, Travis! I've been waiting for this!
Next! Million Gunman is the very definition of bland. He's like Dr. Peace, only he's an old man, and he doesn't have a good backstory. Hell, he doesn't have a backstory. You literally know nothing about this guy except that he's a president of a bank. Not exactly what you think of when you think assassin, right? Also, Million Gunman, what with his ricocheting coin bullets, is kind of like a riff off Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid, only he's completely lame. This guy also spouts some of the most repetitive and annoying catchphrases this side of Flame Hyenard.
I'm not going to eat your meat just to show you. Fuck you! You love money like I
Okay, maybe he isn't that annoying. I'll give Matt Helms one thing. His backstory's interesting, and the haunting rock music that plays in this fight perfectly captures the fight's atmosphere. Otherwise, this fight really isn't that great. Yes, we all know this undead tub of lard is disturbing as all hell, but the battle itself is kind of underwhelming, to be honest. Not only is it dark and crowded because of all the pillars, but Helms himself is pretty bland. Helms constantly throws Molotov cocktails at you, and he tries to use his flamethrower to burn you alive, making it difficult to approach this hulking mass. The whole claustrophobic feeling in the battle feels all too much like the fight with Shinobu from the first game. Speaking of which... yes, I dislike Shinobu. The battle with her in the first game is difficult, crowded, and not fun like some of the other assassin battles in the first game. To me, Shinobu always seemed too ordinary as well. At least when you compare her to a guy that shoots lasers out his crotch anyway. Not to mention, her personality gets annoying really fast.
What's that in your hand? A toy?
My god, when you play as her in No More Heroes 2, she literally stops after a combo to taunt people. I've got hurt a lot because of her taunting. I like Chloe Walsh more than Shinobu. She's probably the assassin we know least about, yet we know enough about her to know that she is one creepy woman.
Show me your face twisted in pain.
The fight with her had a ton of potential. Her supernatural attacks all looked awesome, but they were almost all easy to avoid and barely harmful anyways. When you add in low HP, it all amounts to a really easy fight that could have been much better. Well, at least she wasn't annoying as hell like Shinobu was.
Come closer.
An old lady with a shopping cart that becomes a giant nuclear laser cannon. That's friggin' awesome, right? Yeah, get a load of this music here, too. Oh yeah, Granny doesn't fuck around. But when it comes down to it, Speedbuster is really disappointing. The fight against her is more like an extended level with a giant laser firing every few seconds. That's incredibly lame and by far the worst fight in the series. But at least you get to kill her. She murdered Thunder Ryu! As a person that likes rock music, I'm inclined to like death metal. He's a British guy covered in tattoos that has a giant cleaver for a weapon. That's pretty awesome for a first boss, although the fight itself is pretty easy and to be honest, not very exciting at all. But death metal himself is a pretty interesting character. A rich bloke who's weary of his life as an assassin and of his riches.
This is no paradise.
Even Travis admits he's jealous of death metal.
On the weekends, 10 babes knocking on my door every 2 hours.
Bad Girl is a messed up drunk that smacks gimps around with a baseball bat for a living. The fight with her is long and complete. She gets many new attacks as she loses health, including a one-hit KO move. The music in the battle, Leather for Breakfast, is also strangely fitting for the fight. Why do I think of a bunch of drunk girls listening to this music on a joyride? So why is Bad Girl this low then? Well, as great as the fight is, we hardly know anything about Bad Girl's history, which would have been cool to see how she became so demented. The fight's also hard as hell, and not to mention, she's just a sadistic hoe! I hate the fight with New Destroy Man! You play as Shinobu, which is torture in itself, and you have to fight 2 bosses at once! And they can revive each other! Needless to say, this is the longest battle in the game. But this fight has one major redeeming factor. It's Destroy Man, only there's 2 of him! That means there's double the awesomeness. And double the insane personalities, too.
You know, let's shake hands. Sportsmanship is paramount to a fair and clean fight.
Hurry up and shake!
Dirty nympho.
Whatever. But which one?
Doesn't matter. Your choice.
That's throbbing.
Nathan Copeland is a lot like death metal. He's a philosophical rich guy. Would you believe that he actually wants Travis to kill him? The fight with Nathan is very unique, even for No More Heroes. Nathan attacks with a morphing boombox that can fire missiles and become armor, and Nathan will begin activating a ton of deadly traps as he loses health. There's moving floors, exploding plants, and laser beams firing from statues. It's friggin' crazy! The music in this fight is fittingly a rap song, but the weird part is, it's in Japanese. Mimi is weird. But oh well, at least the fight with it is awesome. I mean, you fight Mimi as Henry! While Mimi fires lasers at you and tries to clap you to death, I'm not making this up, you're dashing around the field and either hacking away at Mimi or firing energy balls at it. Look, it's the amazing flying Irishman! I still want to know what the whole point of Mimi is, though. I mean, what the hell is it? And why does it have 42 on its shirt? Does Mimi hold the answer to life, the universe, and everything? Is Mimi God? Darkstar may be a Darth Vader ripoff, but psych! You don't get to fight this guy. Instead, you get to fight someone much better. Travis's half-sister, Jean. The fight with Jean is difficult and repetitive, but the atmosphere of the fight makes it a really good one. It's revealed that Jean killed Travis's parents, and Sylvia Crystal set up the UAA just so Travis could kill Jean. This battle revels in its twistedness. Before the fight, Jean tells her story to Travis. Sort of. It's been fast-forwarded so the gruesome story could get past the censors.
What if the game gets delayed? You don't want this to become No More Heroes forever, do you?
Skelter Helter may look like Cloud, but he's really 10 times as awesome. I mean, he pretty much has Cloud's Buster Sword if it was a friggin' lightsaber, and he also has the most badass revolver ever. I mean, it's got multiple chambers. Not to mention, this guy is the brother of Helter Skelter, an assassin you couldn't fight in the original No More Heroes. So, in a way, you finally get to face off with Helter Skelter. Skelter Helter is the first boss of No More Heroes 2, and it's a much better and more challenging fight than the one with Death Metal. This guy is so awesome that even after you decapitate him, he's still not dead. And he goes on to speak scarily poetic dialogue.
Such blind arrogance, like the naked emperor. I said I'd avenge you killing my brother, didn't I? Well, who's been a brother to you? I've taken the curse you gave me, the shackles of revenge, and I'm throwing them back on you. This is the ultimate vengeance!
Yeah. What's not to love about Dr. Peace? He's a corrupt Native American PI that sings karaoke, has 2 golden magnums, and he has marriage problems. This guy arguably has the best backstory of all the No More Heroes bosses. But is the fight that good? Nah. Kimmy Howell gets this higher up spot because of this scene only. It just speaks for itself.
To my dearest Travis the Great. Hi there, Travis the Great. I am the girl who loves you the most in the entire world. But in order to prove that I'm your #1 fan, I need some kind of evidence. Because no matter how much I insist that I'm your #1, any other chick or bitch can approach you and say the exact same thing. That is why I've decided that I should become strong. By doing so, I knew that someday I'd be able to get closer to you. Putting my title as Travis the Great's #1 fan on the line, I embarked on this path and ended up winning the National Student Assassin Championship. I really did my best. But you know, in hindsight, it was a cinch. I guess I'm just blessed. I could master in one day techniques that would take others years to do. Pretty awesome, right? And then I got greedy, a new urge, a vision, that just maybe I could win a fight against Travis the Great. Now my goal is to behead Travis the Great, therefore surpassing my hero. Oops, did I actually write that? It's kind of embarrassing, you know. Well, anyways, I made up my mind. I made an oath. I won't be killed by anyone. I shall defeat Travis the Great in battle. Only then will Travis the Great become mine and mine only. Love, Travis the Great's #1 fan, Kimmy Howell. Okay, so much for the dose of innocence.